So hi guys, welcome to stage 30. In this stage we have got two large parts, C14, C15. Let's see if we can use our cheat code. Yep, this one's C14 because it tells us it is. And this one is C15. And these are actually in the pack like this. So I'm guessing that's how they're going to go together. They certainly look like it. Next we have a piece of model pawn again. I recognise those tabs. I think we're going to have an ooh when we put that in. And that's C16. Then we have A19, which is a metal piece. We then have two washers. And do you know what? It's just a coincidence, but we get a lot of washers, but this is a nice clean build, pun intended. And then lastly we have 4 screws, twos, so that's 2 screws plus 2, but I am going to use 2 spare from a previous issue, and that will be the 2 that I need. So we need to begin with, we need the assembly from the previous issues. We need to place in C14, and that is going into there. But before we do that, we are placing a washer which goes very nicely in that slot there. And I mentioned before there's a very slight lip there, as though perhaps it was banged with a hammer, that sort of thing. So you may have a bit of a struggle getting that in. If you do, that's gone in absolutely perfectly, but it's stuck halfway. There we go. Little bit of force to finish it off, not too much force, but that's gone in fine. But if you do struggle, if it doesn't fit, just run a file along the peg at about 45 degrees, just a little light rub, and that will just reduce that size. Okay, so next we want our piece A19, and I've got to think about this. It's going in this way, and I know that because there's a lip. It's very hard to see because it's shiny, but there's a lip there, and the lip needs to go from behind, and that is going in. Right, so it's going in over this metal plate but underneath that plastic plate. So as we did before, right, so we've got a small lip there, and that little peg wants to go into that runner there, but at the same time that peg there wants to go into that hole. And I'm going to achieve that by just gently lifting this plastic piece. And I'm only worrying about this plastic, this side, because I think we can sort the rest out later. I don't want to pull it too much. It feels like I might break it if I pull it too much, but it's going to go. There we go. That's in place. Then we can make sure this one goes in place. I'll just lift that up a bit. There we go. That's in. So you can see how we're going to get some movement there. Obviously this all needs to be locked in place for it to work. But yeah, that's the principle. So we can see that that pin is in that oval, and that pin locks in there. So next we want assembly from stage 28. Oh, did I just pull that out? No, that's fine. So the assembly from stage 28, it needs to go this way. Now, you remember we said about these pins here pointing at an angle? They now need to point downwards, and that needs to go in. Right, so the peg is going to go over the little washer, like, I think that's also going to go, yeah, so it needs to go over this metal bit, but the peg needs to go through as well. And I think the way, yeah, so the way we're going to achieve that is to turn that at a 90-degree angle, pop the post in like so. That peg hasn't gone all the way through. Might be because of the shape. So then we'll try to turn it back, and then we can finish, here we go, we can finish pushing that in. Lovely. Can you see how that piece, that plate has gone over this plate? That peg has gone in fully. and then there's a peg just slightly sticking out. Not proud, but it's just level. So that's gone in absolutely fine. This is getting quite technical, isn't it, guys? Really nice build. So next we want C16, and I think this is the pawn coming up. Now, it can only go one of two ways. It will either go that way, which I think is the correct way, or it's going to go that way. And I was right the second time. So cats are having fun. Right, so if you pop it in this way, these pegs aren't going to fit in. Can you see how they don't fit? So it needs to go this way. Oh, perfect fit. Needs a tiny bit of force, but it just goes in so nicely. That is absolutely amazing. Right, so on to the next stage. We need to get another washer. Remember, we've already got the washer in place there. This washer is going into place there, and we are going to place this plate. It needs to line up in 3 places. The 2 washers are going underneath there and there, and at the same time this lug is going there. And right, so the way I've just done it is I've lined the lug up in the middle first, then I've lined that up, and then what we're going to have to do is move it a bit. There we go. And then that will line up in there, and there's our model pawn. Sorry, I think I might have just made a new phrase. And then we're going to finish this off by screwing the 2 screws in there into those 2. Again, I didn't get my screws ready. When do I ever get my screws ready? And again, I've not magnetized my screwdriver. So we'll just pop the screws in there ready. And they can go in there. And this is getting worryingly big, guys. I mean, obviously, I don't know what's coming. I don't know, well, I know what's coming. I don't know when it's coming. I don't know the size of everything. But this is an index finger. And as you can see from my hand, your index finger isn't your largest finger. So, how big is the middle finger going to be? A little bit bigger? I don't know. But that is the end of that stage. That is absolutely wonderful. We can see which stages are coming next, because obviously we need to finish this off with metal. But that is really nice. So there we go, guys. That is issue 30 complete.